Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the beginning of May, our Wednesday afternoon call, and bigger and better things to come. We are in the process of upgrading everything, our CRMs and all our ways of communicating. And for the special people that have joined a particular group, we're moving forward with that. Everything this month is going to be a very busy and very exceptional month and very prosperous. So I want to welcome everybody that's here today. We have now 30 in the group, which is great. And I'd like to see more and more every week. All the CSIs, IITs, and GSIs and everybody keep on with your students and make sure that they know that this is happening every Wednesday. I know there's a lot of training that we have going on, but on a Wednesday afternoon, they'll have a chance to participate also, ask questions, and if there's anything on their minds, this is the time to do it. Okay. And every week we try to have somebody new, preferably giving us information that they have learned along the way that they want to, tell us all about, help us to move forward more easily. And even if you have just something personal that you want to say to us, even if it's not pertaining to PBS itself, if you feel that this program has helped you personally and you want to express where you came from, where you are, and where you're going, that would be great too. You're not alone. We've all been there, are there, and want to know what your ideas and perspective is. So today, one of the big things that you always want to be is positive. So you want to have a positive attitude because according to Corrine Eubanks, positive pays, and eliminating negativity to improve business performance is what's important and is what's needed. So with that said, Corrine, I don't know if we made you co-host yet. I should have looked at that. Sorry. Let's see. Okay. I'm not able to make her host. Who's Donna? You're the host. I need to make Corrine Eubanks co-host.
Got it. You got it.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, Corrine. So welcome, Corrine Eubanks, to our call today, and we appreciate what you're going to, present for us. So take it away.
All right. Thank you so much. So this is the first time I'm presenting to anyone with triple R. So I'm just a little bit nervous, but we're going to proceed in a positive way. Like the title of my presentation says, positivity pays. And there's so many things that we have all, whoops, I'm trying to pull up my presentation. There we go. Okay, are you able to see that?
No. So if you
No.
click on
Not yet.
Okay.
share screen in the bottom, there we go.
Now it's coming.
Got it? Okay,
There we go.
perfect.
There you go.
Okay, great. Positivity pays. So how can we eliminate negativity to improve your triple R business performance? One of the reasons I was inspired to do this presentation, it really had to do with my experience with triple R. I came to my 1-year anniversary this about 2 weeks ago. There had been a gap for me of about 3 months in there where I had something medical happen. I wound up hospitalized, and it took me a while to get back. But I set a goal, I set a deadline for myself so that I didn't let that time go too long, because had I done that, I don't know if I would have come back. But I set a goal to start the new year, this year, to get back into it, reset, refocus, recommit. And I did that. And that's part of the inspiration for this. But the other is just to do with all the changes that have happened in the last month. I think so many people here are tired, like we heard there, there's been a lot that's been required, especially of our leadership team, but also of all of us in learning new skills and so on. And it would be so easy to slip down that rabbit hole of negativity. And it's important that we not do that and that we help support each other as well. Because every day we're going to choose whether we want to be positive or negative. How are we going to respond to things that happen to us? And just before we started recording, we were talking about, these things that happen in our lives, whether it's getting hacked or, something like that, where we've been taken advantage of. And it's happened to more of us than we'd like to admit. But we could sit back and let those experiences put us down a negative pathway, or we can choose to be positive. And there's so many benefits to that. But what you need to have, first of all, is the most important business skill, which is self-awareness. Because if you're not aware that you're negative, you're feeling negative, you're behaving that way, it's going to be hard to have good business results, because negativity rarely helps someone to make more money or be more successful or build a team. Tony Robbins said, in business as in life, self-awareness is the foundation of success. It empowers you to make better decisions, build stronger relationships, and achieve your goals with clarity and purpose. And to me, this was just a summary of a lot of the things that we talk about with Tanya and Rory, about being aware and manifesting things in our lives that are positive so that we can have stronger relationships and achieve our goals. So Harvey Mackay had said about positive thinking that it is more than just a tagline. So it's more than just resetting, refocusing, and recommitting. It changes the way we behave. And I firmly believe that when I am positive, it not only makes me better, but it also makes those around me better. And when we're doing so much talking about V marketing and being bold and stepping out of our comfort zones to build our teams, that really rang true for me. So what are the byproducts of negative energy? There's so many, but these were 8 that I thought were kind of like at the top of the list. And I lump fear of failure and self-doubt together. And we're going to talk more in detail about each of these and what we can do to kind of turn negativity, if we're experiencing it, into positivity. Perfectionism is another that's often misconstrued as being a positive when it winds up being a negative. Procrastination, lack of motivation, comfort zone, being in that dreaded comfort zone, I should say, and stress and criticism. So the fear of failure and self-doubt can hinder our willingness to take risks and pursue opportunities. And we've been talking a lot about that with Rory as we're adding the new CRM and people are making the commitment to the $1 Million Club and so on and so forth. We're all wanting to grow our businesses. And the best way to do that is to move forward with the V marketing, to avoid stepping out of our comfort zones and hesitating in taking action. So taking action, whether it's working on our PBS or posting more ads or working on our social media, whatever it may be, those are positive things that we can do. But we have to also remember that we're all learning new skills. Even those of us who've been with Triple R for a while, for years, may make mistakes as we're going into these new programs. We're all going to make mistakes. It's part of the process. And we need to also show grace for other members as well as ourselves, but to other members of Triple R, whether it's someone on our team, a new person that maybe might not be grasping things as quickly as we'd like, or it could be one of our leadership team that maybe, we might not always agree with their opinions or how a process is being explained to us, but it's a system, not a suggestion. So we have to rely on our attitude to help move us forward with those things. And then finally, consistency, so important, and trying to avoid that fear. The fear of failure can stop us from doing so many things. And if we can be consistent in stepping up, taking action, we can all become more confident. Some of the tips that I've learned along the way, like I said before, be bold. If I were to tell 13-year-old Corrine some advice to help move her life forward and avoid some mistakes, is to be bold in your actions. Don't let fear drive you and drive you away from success. Be bold and let it drive you towards success. Eliminate negative self-talk, whether that's in your own head, or if you're thinking about someone on your team or someone else that you could so easily be negative about, but turn that around and make it positive. See if you can find a way to see the good in a situation or a person. That's really important. And then with reaching your goals, celebrate every single one of them, the small ones and the big ones. Adjust accordingly, but I think we have to stop throughout the day and think about the good things that we're doing, because it's just too easy to, have self-doubt and be critical. And always plan for tomorrow, but focus on today. Focusing on today will help you to take on too much or become overwhelmed. And infuse your mind with positive energy, because you are amazing. So perfectionism, I had noted that earlier. I wanted to kind of separate that one out because it goes along with my feelings about multitasking as well. When we say, I'm a really great multitasker, or I'm just a perfectionist, we say these things with such positivity that it's a good thing. It's a good quality, but they can both become negative. For those who strive to be perfect, I'll admit to, with my PBS, it's taking me longer than I care to admit, because I'm coming out of that where I was striving to make my PBS pages perfect. And, I'm not winning the next great American novel here. None of us are. We just need to write quality content, and that's the focus. So positivity pays when we understand that we are human and we will make mistakes, especially in these times when we're rolling out these new systems. We have to be patient with ourselves and others. And if we do our best and strive to make progress, we will live in a more productive and positive mindset, which is really, really important. Mel Robbins, who is the author of The 5-Minute Rule, I don't know if you've ever heard of that or read that book, but she says perfectionism is a form of self-sabotage disguised as high standards. It prevents us from taking risks, learning from failure, and ultimately achieving our full potential. And that just really is a great summary statement about perfectionism. Oops. So what's important about perfectionism, and how can we make that, turn it around so that we can continue to grow our businesses and progress forward? Like I said, forgiving mistakes, ours and other people's mistakes. Stop criticizing and try to find the positive. See if there's something that we can do to help someone who might be in a negative mindset. Is there something we can do? For our own mindset, there's certain tips that we can follow. One thing that's worked for me in moving forward with some of the things with R is to set time limits for myself so that I won't have that tendency to over edit. And when you're feeling overwhelmed, don't procrastinate. That's one of the worst things that we can do. Instead, if it just on a particular day, maybe your goal seemed too much for the day, break your steps into even smaller steps. And that way you can celebrate your successes. Even if you don't hit the mark and get everything done in that day, you can look back and see that you did a lot of great things that day. And visualize yourself being successful in completing those steps. That's really important. And I'm going to talk about manifestation in a minute, but that's something that we're hearing more and more about positive affirmations and the importance of manifesting our success. And I will tell you from personal experience, it does work. If we manifest ourselves to be at a certain type of success, let's say that way, or achieving certain goals, and we focus on that, we can make that happen. Manifestation is defined as the process of bringing something into existence or reality through focused intention and belief. And isn't that what Rory talks about so often about our, focus, and that we allot blocks of time for V-marketing, for example, because it's that focused intention that's going to help us move that progress forward. So it's so important, instead of shooting for a lofty goal like, I'm going to get AdSense. Well, that's great, but before you can do that, you have to have clear intentions about smaller goals that get you to that end goal. So being specific in defining what the goal is that you want to manifest. And then this is the important part, actually visualizing yourself, picturing yourself in your mind already achieving that goal. And the important part of it is you have to feel the feeling of success. So you're visualizing it, but at the same time, you're creating that positive vibration. You're raising your energy so that you have that feeling. And that's what really is the magic behind it. And then be consistent. Like Rory talks about grit. Not everything is easy, but it's not hard either. And if we just stay consistent and stay positive and be patient while all the good things are happening for us, we're definitely going to be successful. But there are certain things that we can do to ourselves that sabotage our work. And that's procrastination, lack of motivation, and being in that dreaded comfort zone. And we're all at risk of this. It doesn't matter how long you've been with Triple R. I think that we all need to remind ourselves from time to time if we're kind of backsliding or maybe we're not progressing the way we should. So Tanya talks a lot about time blocking, and it's not something I had ever done before, but it works by either 2-hour blocks or a 1-hour block, whatever it is. But making sure that you've planned your next day and the next week at least out so that you have a good plan and can move forward. If you don't plan and make time for certain tasks, you're not going to get anywhere. And that's just going to make you more negative. So do yourself a favor by planning. And then using the 2-minute rule for me has been very, very helpful in my prior career. If there's something that you can do in 2 minutes, do it then. Do it right away. Get it done. Because there's a lot of those 2-minute things that we have to do throughout our day. And if we wait until the end of our day to get those done, we might not do them. And then it could be a problem. For example, not checking in on our WhatsApp. It doesn't take long. I don't know how many chats you're all in, but I'm in a few. It doesn't take that long to look at them. Also checking in on your back office and checking your email, really important. Things that you can do very quickly. And avoid getting too comfortable. Learn new skills, take on new challenges. And for those of you who have been with Triple R for less than 90 days, I'm sure that you're living that life because you're going to learn a lot of new things. But don't ever hesitate taking on a new challenge. That helps you to stay out of that comfort zone, which is so demotivating, actually. And one of the nicest things about Triple R is that we get to share our knowledge and skills with other people as we're building our teams in our different meetings. And that's a really positive thing for us personally, as well as for our business growth. And the last things I wanted to talk about had to do with stress and criticism. And I lump those together because they kind of go hand in hand. But when we work under stress, and we've all been there, it really does decrease our productivity. Whether it's the outward health effects that it has with headaches and nausea and things like that, or if it's the internal things, fear, doubt, and all those things we've talked about. Stress causes us to often be critical of ourselves and others, which has a negative effect on the quality of our customer service and with our relationships, especially when so much of what we do has to revolve around the BRT, building relationships and trust. So it's so important that we recognize and be aware of those stressful aspects that are maybe manifesting despite what our desires are. We need to make sure we're just checking in with ourselves. If we're having a bad day, see what we can do to turn it around. When you're self-aware and can recognize those signs, you can alleviate them before they actually cause any long-term problems for you. Positivity tips, how you can refresh your attitude when you're feeling stressed and maybe you're being a little more critical than you should. Acknowledge fears and insecurities, but don't let them control you. Work past them, take action, be confident, because like I said, you are amazing and you have the ability to be as successful as you want to be. Use that positive self-talk. When you're using negative self-talk, just turn it around, stop yourself. Reward yourself for completing tasks and goals. And whenever you need to, step back to the R philosophy of reset, refocus, and recommit. And recognize that feedback, whether it's from your instructor or someone on the leadership team, that feedback is valuable for our growth and development, and not to take things personally. So I also included a couple books on this topic. As I was preparing this, I was looking up some things, and there's a couple here, and I'll share this with you. I'll link this presentation, and a couple TED Talks as well on this topic. And I hope this information was a good, for most of us, a review or a reminder. And I've enjoyed putting it together and having the opportunity to talk to you all. So does anyone have any questions or comments? Oop.
That was excellent. I think we all need to be reminded of that.
Done.
It's so easy to slip into negativity,
It
especially
is.
with when there's so much going on.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
I appreciate the reminder.
Yeah, that was definitely needed today, Corinne. That was wonderful, excellent. There's a lot of things in there that you said that needed to be heard again and hashed over, because we need as much positivity as possible. And in adding to that a little bit, when you're talking about perfectionism, it could be good or bad. Well, it can definitely be that way, because some people, like you said, you wanted to make sure your pages were really, really good and, before you moved on. But this is a never-ending practice. Your web pages are never, ever going to be done. You're always going to be modifying them, upgrading them. You're making them better. That's why it's important to go on to these calls, and especially on Thursday nights too, because no matter, I've been over 5 years now, and I'm always on those calls. And even if it's one item that you pick up from there, I've said this before, I'll pick it up, then I run to my page immediately and incorporate it into my page. So I've modified whatever page they're talking about, at the time, and make it better, right? And that's what it's all about, constantly growing, learning, making it better. But you don't have to be a perfectionist to the point where it's going to drive you crazy and keep you from doing everything else, like maybe the BRTs. Now, there's one thing that you want to have in your mind that you never want to do or say when you're starting something. If somebody asks you a question, never say, "I will try to do that." The word try is a defeatist word. Take it out of your vocabulary, because when you use the word try, psychologically, you're giving yourself an out. where if you say, I'll try to get two members this week. Well, if you say that and you go and at the end of the week you don't get it, you say, well, I tried, So that's like an excuse for not getting it. So in reference to that, when you were talking about manifestation, don't say I'll try to get, a couple people. You say, I have a couple new PBS students, and at the end of the week, I'll have them. You want to be positive, put it in a positive sentence. I already am making $1,000 extra a month. I am having one new person or student a week, whatever it is, you already have it. And with the last part about sharing your skills, that's what we're here for today, for you to have the platform to share your skills and knowledge and experience with all of us, because we can all learn from each other.
I have a question, Corinne.
Yes.
Are you sure you haven't done this before? You did an excellent job.
Oh, thank you so much. That
Yeah,
means a
the-
lot, Joel. I
yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
that.
I would have never known that you've never done it before. So you did really
Excellent.
well.
Oh,
And then
thank you.
yeah. So one of the things I want to mention, to kind of reiterate what Tom was saying. So there's a Hollywood actor, Will Smith. We all know who he is. Before he ever went big, he told everybody, "I am A+ Hollywood star. You just don't know it yet." That's what he told everybody, and he made sure everybody knew that he was whatever it's called, A-star Hollywood actor. Well before he was ever known to anybody, and that's kind of the whole thing of a positive reinforcement, right? The same kind of thing. We're not
Right.
reinforcing whatever the word is,
Exactly.
but yeah.
Mhm.
Like what I said before, your mind will put out what you put into it. You put negative thoughts into it, negative actions are going to come out. You put positive thoughts into it, positive actions will come out. And the brain is your boss. You're the boss of yourself. Your brain is the manager of your body. So as a boss, you've got to direct your brain the way you want your business to run, which is your life. And you tell your brain, I am strong, I'm healthy, I'm experienced, I'm successful. And you keep saying that over and over and over, and your mind will automatically, subconsciously say, hey, I'm successful. Let's act that way. Let's keep going. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And the visualization and feeling that sense, like how happy you would be, at the end of the week when you have whatever your goal is, 5 new
Mhm.
students, let's say. You're going for the contest and you want to go on the trip in September, and you set those goals and you see yourself, whether it's at your computer or using the phone, and you're successful and you can feel the excitement. You can see yourself being at that
Mhm.
place, whether it's tropical or wherever the trip is, but setting,
Right.
small goals as well as big goals so you can have those achievements with all that good, positive energy. It's helpful.
Exactly. Yes. And also when it comes to doing the phone calls, everybody says it all the time, how scary it can be, especially with new people starting the V marketing and everything. But the thing is, to keep going and keep motivated is the first time you actually got a new student. You try to remember that feeling of exuberance and elation and so happy the way you felt, because then you start making your phone calls again and you're going to sink down again and you're going to start getting nervous again, like they say, the 500-pound telephone receiver, but we have headphones now. So it's 500 pounds on your head, but you don't have to worry about that if you remember how it felt when you actually did get somebody in, because that's a good feeling. And then just look forward to that next call saying that's going to be the one that'll make me feel that way again, and you have to keep going. And inevitably it's you before the last of the list. If you say do 10 calls and you don't get anybody, usually the 9th or 10th call, or you do one extra call, that'll be the person that you can actually talk to and create a BRT with them, and hopefully get them in to be a student.
Mhm.
Right. Connie had her hand up.
Yeah, Corinne, that was awesome. I really enjoyed that. And we all can use a boost like that every once in a while. I just wanted to note on procrastination, not procrastination, but perfectionism.
Yes.
I always thought that it was a positive thing when I was younger, but as I got older, it wasn't so much, because sometimes I would find myself not doing things because I knew that I wouldn't be successful or didn't think that I would be good at it. So I wouldn't do it at all, because if I
Right.
can't be perfect, why do it?
Right.
So it's just that kind of I thought about that as you were going over this lesson for the day. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you, Connie.
Cindy, did you have a question?
Sorry, I'm trying to unmute here. Yes, I really enjoyed this. You did an excellent job.
Thank you.
I every day, no matter what's going on, and it's a lot of things that's going on, as we talked about earlier, bad things, that happen to you, it happened to me as well. However, you have to get back up, and to have this great team here to support you and say, hey, you can do it. When you feel in your heart sometimes, I don't know about this here. There's bad things all around me that's going on all the time, personal life or working outside jobs and different things like that. And you feel negative. So you have to turn that negative into positive, and you have to practice that every single day. You can do it. You're worth it.
Absolutely. Every day, like you said.
And if you can't do it yourself, you have your instructor you can talk to anytime. If you have certain feelings, you want to vent, they can help you. Even though, we're all busy and everything, but we're never too busy to help you if you are really under the weather, let's say, and you want to, talk about it, maybe get more positive, become more positive. Okay, so you're never alone, remember. Anybody else have any questions or comments?
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. And I'll post it in the chat. Just give me a couple minutes here.
Yeah, or you can put it on the WhatsApp.
Okay, I'll do that.
Don't want to rush you to do that. If it's either or both places will be fine.
Thanks, Corinne. That was great.
You're welcome.
That was superb.
Good job.
You did wonderful. Awesome.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay. Anybody have
We
any
need
other types of
encouragement, at
questions?
least once a week.
Anybody have any questions about the new CRM? And I've got just a few reminders for everybody, just in case not everybody was here last time. Make sure that you find that little square that says where you have to click on the date. It was last contacted, this person.
Yeah, assigned
Mm.
date.
Yeah, and that too. But when you're first filling out that first page, make sure you hit find that little box that says last contacted and
Mhm.
click on the date. That is a must. That's causing all kinds of issues. So,
So
and if it,
in reference to that, Donna, you're saying,
yeah,
first of all, when we start doing the BS, we get a lead and you send all the stuff and we call them, we don't get any answer. At
mhm,
that time, put the last contacted lead in.
yeah.
Date.
I would every single time you open up a card, if you've done anything, if you've sent them anything, if you've
Mhm.
called them, whatever it is, make sure you hit that little square box.
Yeah, because it does go back immediately to not contacted.
Yeah.
You know that, yeah.
Yeah, and if it's not, if it shows no contact, then whatever you've done, people are not looking at the notes, unfortunately.
Mhm.
And I want everybody here, when you open up a card, look for notes just to be safe. But not everybody does, so we've got to remember that. And they look for either no contact or whatever. So that seems to be something that we need to remember to check.
Yeah, that was something we didn't do at first because it wasn't that clear. But when you're looking at the whole list over on the
Yeah.
right-hand side, then you can see that if you even started the list, did a bulk action an hour ago, and now you just talked to them or sent them something, and you do that, then it'll switch it to the just now or 2 minutes ago or whatever.
Yeah.
So
So
clicking
it does
on the-
have, go
sorry.
ahead, Kathy.
Clicking on the contact is, if you're going to go back to Trello, that's the ability to say you're working on a list. We don't have that ability. So clicking on contact tells people they've been contacted. There's 14 days and a minute before they can be contacted again. And
Right.
contact
Right.
does not mean a phone call. Contact is, I sent them a text. That's a
Right.
contact. So if you even sent the first text and had to go to a doctor's appointment, you contacted that person. So click on contact. That's it.
That's right.
Yeah.
The last thing that we need is 10 different people sending out the same emails within the same week. So it does help.
So when you're updating it with that, you will simultaneously put in the notes reflecting that. So not
Yes.
only will they see the time, but if they accidentally get there, they'll also see the notes.
And the note also has that little square box. So click it
Mhm.
there as well.
Right. And again, even though you click it once and you save it, it's then going to go back to not contacted. So I guess it's mainly to keep updating it.
Yeah. Rebecca?
I might need a specific direction on this, but I have a student that just couldn't log into his CRM. He's a paid PBS Vortex.
One of two things. Either he's not using the correct link. It should be the admin link,
Yes, I gave him that.
or they're using the wrong you could try going in and getting him a new password.
I did that too.
Yeah, get together with me later and we'll
Okay,
figure it out. I'll help you figure it
okay.
out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else having any CRM issues? Now, it was down for a while today, so it has been going a little bit slower today than usual. So be patient with it. You know, when you put in and search for a lead, wait for it to give you an answer. If it's not giving you an answer, if it doesn't give you some choices, or if it doesn't say nothing found, no such lead found, or whatever it says, then it's still looking. So you got to be really patient with it. Sometimes it takes a lot longer than you might think. Now they're working on that too, but they're still putting in things for the education system as we speak.
There's something that I just found out, which I should have realized before, but putting in notes, you can add documents or photos or whatever to those notes also, you know, even though you don't
Yes.
see it there over on the left-hand side in the category, it does, you know, say files, I think, yeah.
Yes.
And so you click on the files and you can add that. So unlike Trello, where it was basically within the same spot, this is two different categories. One's for the notes and then the other one's for files, documents, pictures, whatever. Because I use that for receipt payment.
That's a good idea. And you can also copy the password that you sent to somebody and put it in a note, so it's easy to find.
Yeah, I always do that. I always do, that's always the first note is a CRM password. That's always my
Yeah.
first note.
Yeah.
So
It's a lot faster than,
I always do the CRM password and then I do the BRT.
Yeah.
That's my second note.
saves time for sure.
100%.
Anybody else? Also, don't forget, as you're converting a lead to a customer, don't forget to add yourself as admin, because if you don't, you won't be able to find that card. So if you ever,
Where is it? Sorry, where in there is it where Roy's asking for us to add in the group? I can't find the
it's
group.
under custom, it's this on the customer profile,
Yeah.
and it's not the first whatever that is, it's the second one.
A custom field, right?
Custom field, yeah. And it's in there.
And then what,
That'd be assigned.
the group needs it to be whatever it is we did, you know, so for example, you know, if we did, awaiting PBS or whatever, that's gonna be the same
Right.
thing, right?
Pending PBS, right?
Yes, that's it. Okay, so the same thing, okay.
Yep. Exactly.
Pending, yeah.
Because they trigger different things. The pending
Right.
PBS will put it in a pool of cards that Matt has to choose from to look for, you know, who paid for transactions.
There's
And then
also
may as well
autoresponders
in
are
the future
different.
as well. Yeah, may as well in the
Yes.
future, trigger something from the vortex, right?
Right, that's subscriptions.
No, but what I'm saying is, whatever we choose in a group, that may trigger a PBS a vortex response or
Yes,
responder.
it
right?
does. It does, yeah. And NDAs are new student setups or instructor setups rather. That goes to Brielle. Trying to think. Cindy, do you have another question?
Yes, about the CRM. Now it has two selections contacted in notes. Are we supposed to check both?
It has two.
Boxes.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. You mean
Okay.
in the notes as well as the original form? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, because
Yep.
I only was selecting a date and a box for only one at the beginning. And so I think we should do both to, you know, make sure it goes through.
Yeah, I
So-
did that too, Cindy.
Okay.
But I learned that sometimes it doesn't show up in all the places it's supposed to, so I would click
Okay.
both. Yeah,
All right, I'm doing that
Good.
now. Thank you.
good point. You're welcome.
Just like the notes, they don't show up in both places. They don't show up as leads. I mean, both leads and customer. If the name,
Correct.
you know, shows up twice, what do we do?
They
Just
will if you you have to add the notes when you're working with the lead, add the notes before you convert them to customer. If you just put it in there and convert to a customer, if you put it in the description, you're not going to see them ever. I mean, they're going to be hard to find. But if you add the notes at the top, like copy whatever you
Right.
had in the description, add it to the notes, then when you convert it to a customer, there's a little box that you check under the password that says merge, and it will take those notes and send it on to the customer and staff level as well. But you have to add them before you convert to customer.
So before
Well-
you convert to customer, there is a block that says merge.
Yes.
Is that what you just said, to clarify?
Yes, but you have to add the notes. Like if you want to copy whatever you had in the description from Trello, for instance, you have to copy that and put it in the notes first,
Mhm.
and then do the conversion, then hit the green button. And then there is a little box at the bottom underneath the password that it says do
Oh.
not send email, and it also underneath that it says merge notes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
merge
there's the
or-
3
or-
blocks
or-
that
or
you check the
a
bottom
copy
2
over
box.
notes, yeah.
right,
That's right, because
right.
if you don't have any notes, the box is not there. It's only there if you have notes.
Right.
Because I remember I asked Roy about that, and he said, if you don't have any notes, then there's nothing to copy over, so it's not gonna be there.
So it's kind of a reminder for you. If there's no box to check, you better think about it. Did you have anything that you wanted to send to the customer level
Yeah,
to be able
that's a good
to
point.
to see?
And underneath there, if you go to that page, which would be the second page, and you go down and you only see 2 out of the 3 boxes that we're normally used to seeing, where Roy says check the bottom 2, not the top one. Sometimes I came across with only 2, and I'm saying, well, what's
Mm.
wrong with this? Why is it 2 and not 3? So then I
Yep.
went back, and there was like one thing that was missing, that I put in, and then I refreshed it, went ahead, and the 3 boxes came up. So if you get 2 boxes, that means you missed something in the previous actions.
Well, I haven't done that up to this point, so I don't know if I should really start doing that now. Like I've always just added my notes after they're a customer. Which means then that on the lead card, there's no notes, but on the customer card there is.
Well, you can do that as well, but after you get farther along, it's hard to find that.
Yeah. Well, I would only ever for at least for my students, I would only ever work with the customer card, right? I wouldn't work with the lead card because they're
Yeah.
not my customer, right?
Yep.
It's something we still have to get used to, but I noticed that when we're doing the customer, we're doing something, and then you go back to relook at them, and we come up to another page. I mean, it's intertwined there. But then I noticed, for example, the vortex still isn't checked. It's not checked, no. There's some things that, like, I don't know if we have to repeat it again or leave it out. It's not what, we talked about earlier this week, Donna, but it's still,
Yeah.
there's different sections, whether it's
Yeah,
you click on the view and it comes up and it doesn't have the couple of the things like English enabled, and it doesn't have the no for the vortex. But then if you go to another, the whatever you call it, the lead, then it has it
Yeah.
in there. So, that's not really synonymous. They're not connected. They're not in sync. That's a word.
And you know what? That is because each of those sections have a different role that they play in the marketing system.
Mhm.
One of those pages sends it out for automatic drooping.
Mhm.
So it's a whole different set of information than the other ones. So they are different, but because they have different roles.
Right. So if we go back and that's not in there, just re-put them back in wherever you find it, right?
You can, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
yep,
If you come
I think
across it, otherwise,
yeah. It was, it played a bigger role when we were moving everything from Trello to the
Yeah.
new
Mhm.
CRM, because if you lost all that information, if you just put it on the lead sheet, then you couldn't access it again unless you went through all backwards,
yeah.
just extra steps. So, but yeah, it's a
It's
learning
still a
experience.
learning experience. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yep.
will be for a while, I'm sure.
Got to think
Marilyn,
positive.
that's right. That's right. We're all in the same boat, so we can remind each other. Marilyn, did you have a question?
Hello, Marilyn.
You're muted, Marilyn.
Hello, everyone. Thank you.
Hey.
My question is on progression with the PBS. Okay, the customer pays for the PBS.
Right?
Does that then trigger, does that information go directly to Matt?
Yes, make sure that you have on there pending PBS
Okay,
as a group, okay?
okay,
Um,
I did that.
now,
And
when
go
he
ahead.
sends it back to you, you're gonna find the login information in your notes section. That's where
Okay,
he'll put that login information.
okay. That I just wanted to know where I would be able to see that it was ready and let the
Yep,
student know.
check the notes. And
Yeah,
then,
that was my problem too.
yeah,
He doesn't, again, we're used to Trello, which and that part was good because when he would get it, it would show up and we'd be notified actually on my email that, Trello
was
had
ready.
some action and you could see that he gave us the website for the new person. But in this, we don't have that. So this week, the only way I could find out was to actually go to the person's card and then it would be in her notes.
Yes.
But if you have a lot of people or you don't remember to go to a particular person, you won't, sometimes a day or two will go by before you even realize that they have a website already set up for them. So really, there should be some type of acknowledgement that happened, just
It
like,
should be in the bell on the upper right side. I don't know that always happens, but I don't know what triggers the little notification in the bell, but
yeah, well,
look in the notes. Sometimes, if you get a PBS in, write yourself a note with that person's name on it or email address so that's easy to find and check up on.
yeah, right now, I guess that's the only way to do it. That's something that maybe you can bring up to Rory to see what his feedback is on.
I think he's got all he can do right at the moment. I don't think he'd even hear. Well, he would hear it, but he's kind of buried right now. Angelica, do you have another question? Or a question, sorry.
A question, right? I was going over the PBS Vortex, how to pay it and everything. Okay, I found my
Yes.
name on the list.
Uh-huh.
I went up to save, but then it says something about in the customer card, which would be my customer card.
Okay, here's what you need to do. If you're looking for your subscription to pay it, you're gonna click on the subscription link over in the left-hand column. And on the far right side, you're gonna search for your name. You're gonna
I did all
click on,
that.
it'll come up, you click on it, hit edit, then you click on view subscription. And then there will be another little green box up there. It'll look like an invoice with a green box that says subscribe. Click that. And then you put your credit card information in there and hit save.
Oh,
Now-
okay, on the same thing, okay.
Yeah. You see it when you hit subscribe, it takes it to another page. And you have to fill that out and then hit save on that one. And then it shows up in the notes. After you hit subscription on your customer card,
Mhm.
it will show up there as active.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You're welcome. Cindy, you have another question?
No, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Anybody else find any issues with or have any questions about how to navigate through the new CRM? Anything about that at all? Awesome. You guys are awesome.
Okay, I'm going to stop the recording now. Appreciate everybody coming. Again, gather up your thoughts and get with me either through the document, the form that I put out with the notifications of Wednesday's meetings, if you want to do a meeting like Corinne did today. And we welcome anything you have to offer us because this is a learning experience for everybody. Okay. So thank you very much and see you next week.